What's up, YouTube? It's your boy Steve from Printer Gang Investments, back with another video, man. And since the last time y'all saw me, man, a lot of things done happened in this market. We had the biggest update in market history in like the past 5 years. I think the last time we had a day that big was probably like COVID in like 2000, 2001, something like that. So, you know, they always say the biggest up days often come before the biggest down days. And this was an obvious example. But I made a few power moves to the portfolio since I last seen y'all. I actually finally took some profit. I took like $300 profit out of here. You know what I'm saying? So this account now only comes from $400 in principal. But, you know, I'm going to start doing some P&L updates. Just throw them in here so we don't do separate videos. As far as P&L, because we're in the middle of a crash, we back up like basically $2,000 year to date, realized like 700. We have 13%, you know, so we still outperforming the indexes for now, you know what I'm saying? And I actually finally took some Palantir gains, man. I'm gonna show y'all the positions. We're gonna talk all about it. So first with the Palantir position, as y'all can see, the share count has went down to 78 shares. We was at 98 shares, but you know, we popped up to $98 a day. So, you know, I said, let me finally take some gains. You know, as I said, this whole account started with like $700-800, $1,000 in call options, something like that. And we've been riding it ever since. And once we took off, I had a lot of shares that I shipped a long time ago. But with this account, what we did, we took a lot of the profits from the options trading. We just been buying one share at a time, $30 here, $10 here, $20 here, and we got all the way up to almost 100 shares. So, you know, I felt like it was time to take some gains. It's been a very volatile market, as y'all can see. We needed some more buying power because, you know, a few calls got hit. But, you know, we had 78 shares. We definitely going to keep adding the Palantir. We're going to get them little 20 shares back, trying to get hundreds of more shares. But that's where we at with that. Palantir calls we got right now. I got this Leap up 24% on that. Got some June calls we up 24% on. Got some puts that went to zero, and that's a good thing. That's another reason we did a lot of hedging. You know what I'm saying? A lot of hedges went to zero. Got this July Palantir call up 16%. And I have two of these January 26 calls. I actually bought one of them today with out of 2,000 I took. In Palantir gains, I bought a call for $500, and that's up today. And we bought this one here, this May 9th, in case earnings blows it out the park, man. So we're going to take that chance. So that's where we at with Palantir. QQQ, another put that went to zero, which is a good thing. You know what I'm saying? Soundhound call that didn't make it, was testing the waters back there. Tesla, we got $1,000 worth of Tesla, almost $1,000 worth of the SPY right now. I've been buying a little Walmart. Haven't added the Vistra or Oklo yet. Let's see what else we got. Nvidia, been adding Nvidia throughout this dip. I bought a Robinhood call when I was gone, man. We made like 80% on a Robinhood call from that bottom. Then we had that big update. I wish I had a closer dated call. We at January right now. So, you know, we got this Robinhood call. If this market continues to bounce back, things can go good. But, you know, that's up to Trump. They're trying to negotiate. Rational heads are starting to prevail. A lot of the rich and powerful are pushing up on Trump behind the scenes. And that's another reason I always like to invest in the markets. Because if you invest in the right companies, so are the richest people in the world. And the richest people in the world don't like losing money. So when the market's crashing because, you know, political figures is doing things that might be out of pocket, the richest people in the world are probably getting their ears behind the scenes and helping them come to a decision. That's all I can say about that for now, but we'll see what goes on with Trump and his tariffs, man. You know, we got a little Goldman Sachs now. Grab calls, we got 3 of those at this point. You know what I'm saying? One grab call went to zero, it was only $15 in it. Google and Amazon. I actually might be buying a lot more Google because I've been using AI in real life, and one name I keep seeing everywhere is Google. Google Gemini is everywhere. Google's making no-code tools. A lot of their tools are free. They're trying to take a lot of people's lunch. I don't know why they're dropping all their tools for free. They're not even coming with the $20 a month, but it might be something going on at Google, guys. Like, you know, we buy it anyway, but they might have a real catalyst, so we might start buying more Google. In addition, I should have talked about this when we talked about the Palantir position. The reason Palantir's starting to go up like it is, not that it didn't recover with the rest of the market, because it did recover with the rest of the market, but we actually got a deal with NATO about a day or two ago. That is a huge deal. Palantir's been trying to get in with Europe for years now. Europe, if I'm not mistaken, France is one of those countries. They've been thinking they can build their own like Palantir competitor, not competitor, but their own version of Palantir. The government thinks they can do it on their own, so they don't got to pay the expense of Palantir software. And that's why we haven't had a lot of contracts in Europe. If anyone knows anything about Palantir, international growth ain't good. We got commercial, we got government US, but international is not good at all. So with this NATO contract, for one, it could be worth a lot of money. For two, that's like a lot of US allies. So people all around the world is finna see the power of this ontology. And this could be leading to a new S-curve for Palantir in the future. And none of that was priced in. You ain't never heard me talk about Palantir getting international contracts to get money. Palantir wasn't really known as an international business, but that might be changing soon. So I'm very happy about that. But you know how we do. We're going to get on some of these charts. I'm going to show y'all what's going on in these markets. Let's see. So today, the QQQ and the SPY were flat, actually. That's why I was saying Palantir got a news catalyst. That's why they're up 6%. NVIDIA was up 1.3%. I think continuing on the news because Trump did make, certain exemptions for chips. So I believe that's helping a stock like NVIDIA. Tesla is also flat. Like I said, they're going to go through it. I told you I'm buying it for the robots. Like, I don't even want to know what's going to happen on earnings day. Earnings day on Tesla might get real. It might go down again, but we just going to keep buying it until the robots drop. And if the robots don't drop, we just going to lose money on Tesla. Palantir's earning day is May 5th, man. That's why I bought that May 9th call too, by the way. It's sad. SoundHound flat. AMD was flat. Supermicro was up 1%. Broadcom was flat. Like I said, the market was flat today for the most part. Some stocks were up a little bit. Excuse me. Some stocks were down a little bit. But for the most part, market was pretty flat today. So, I'm going to get on these charts for y'all. First, we're going to start with Palantir because they broke out today. So, from a trading point of view, it's decent. It's not the best. They did change character here. I like that. I want to see if we can hold this level. We have this fair value gap here, which, we might reject off of and go back down, which I would like. I would, maybe buy another call if we had a nice level or something. But due to the fact that all these fair value gaps are extremely macro related, they might be able to get broken a little easier than normal. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to take that with a grain of salt. But if I can see Palantir really break this, what is it? This $100 level, basically. I need them to get like firmly above 100, like a good 101. Then we could probably test 107. We could probably test 107 if we could break 100 and, close there. And then, it's getting to that time of it's getting to that time of year again. It's about to be about earnings again. It's Cinco de Mayo with Palantir right now. So as far as buy-in prices, if it were to fall to, if you needed a short end, like a quick end entry, like a 91, 92, let me see, what's this order block? 89 through 93. So I would take like the 91-ish area, kind of in the middle of there. The real entries though, I like this area. If we were to fall back here for some reason, 70 to 80, that might be wishful thinking, but it's still, Trump tariff market. Trump could say something tomorrow, everything's down 10%. So I'm not gonna say it's over with, but I like it in this order block, like maybe the 77 area, middle of this range. Equilibrium's down here as well. Once we get to the 75 and below range. So if we can come down here, it could really bounce. I'm not saying it could really bounce. That's the wrong word. If it comes here, that's an area I would like to add. And below there, I like the 200 at 66. But as y'all see, we hit that and just took off to the sky. It's going to take some serious macro to get us back down there because it took serious macro to get us down there the first time. And we turned around that same day. So, yeah, that's what's going on there. Let's look at NVIDIA, see if they finally recovering. Not yet. They starting to get out the water, but not yet. They still also got a fair value gap, but they fair value gap got the 200 right there. So it's going to be a little more of an uphill battle. I'm looking at this 118.87 area. If they could break that, if they could close above that, get back into the 120s, we might be able to go on a run from there. But, it's going to be a lot of resistance. It's going to be a lot of resistance right now. Everything's very macro related. Everything's very news related right now. So, you know, I wouldn't take just any entry. I take like the entries that's really good that you kind of got to take, like when they hitting lows, 200 EMA, deep order blocks, things like that. I'm not going to take like every entry that looks good because, you know, Trump could just mess up your cause. So, you know, let's look at our last stock for the day, QQQ. And QQQ also isn't out of the water yet. Like I said, we bounced from the lows, but we got a lot of work left on QQQ, man. We still got to get above the EMAs. We got fair value gaps up here at the 470 range. We still below equilibrium and the 200. So we're going to need a tariff resolution, and we're going to need earnings to beat to get right back to where we need to be. But, you know, as far as going forward, you know, the dip's not over. Stock's still off all-time highs, so I'm still adding, still trying to buy more. Like I said, I took off 20 shares of Palantir to finally take some gains, but we're going to be buying those back. You know, ain't nothing changed. And I would tell everybody, you know, don't let them scare you. Don't get too pessimistic. Don't be the person, like I had a friend. He sold his Palantir at 100. He thought he did something. It got down to 66. He was waiting for it to go lower. Everybody's waiting for everything to go lower. This is why they call it dollar cost averaging. You just buy. And if it tanks, you just buy more. You see what I'm saying? Like, but it's your boy Steve from Printer Gang Investments. I'm be having a lot of new content for y'all. That's where I've been at. Like I said, I've been working on my AI agents, been working on some video editing. You know, we're going to still be doing these raw videos, but I'm going to start doing more reaction videos. Got a day trading account. You know, I might show y'all like some future trading type things, you know, so y'all can see me getting in and out. But I got to work on my live internet connection where I'm going to be at for that. But I'm going to see y'all in the next video. You know, like, comment, subscribe, share, all that.